Hi everyone, thank you for watching avivTarot, and today we're doing another pick a card reading, and it's actually one of the readers, not readers, I mean one of my subscribers asked for this reading because she wants to know what her soul and life purpose is, and so it helps her decide, I guess the major that she wants to go into. So yeah, so this one is dedicated to her, and also anyone who is looking to figure out what their soul and life purpose is in this life. And so I figure that obviously this is a general reading, so it's gonna be a lot of people watching, and everybody's purpose is probably slightly different but very similar as well. And so this is the first time I'm doing so many piles, and just like the shuffling alone took a while. So I did 7 piles. I was thinking 9, but that's just way too many. So anyways, I did 7, and because it's pre-shuffled, and I just feel like, because I was debating if I want to do the shuffling on camera or not, but then that would take too long because I would have to do 7 piles and each of them would take forever. And so I figured that I would do the pre-shuffling, and for this particular video, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, then go ahead and watch both, because another pile might have some kind of a message for you as well, because it is a soul and life purpose pick a card. And so take what resonates with you, and I actually drew 3 life purpose oracle cards for each pile, and so not all 3 is gonna resonate with you, and so that's why I figure maybe other piles might have things that would resonate with you. So if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to pick more than one pile for this reading. Okay, so hopefully you've made your choices, and I will see you at your reading. Bye. Alrighty, so there's just way too many piles. I'm gonna put the piles away so we have room. Okay, so I'm just gonna move it up. All right, so pile number 1. I drew a lot of cards today, but we'll see what resonates and what doesn't, and what goes well with what. Okay, so this is a 5 of Wands in reverse solitude card, and the 3 life purpose cards are author, creative expression, and animals. And then these are the tea leaf cards. We got the flowers, which means happiness. Rat, someone working against you behind your back. We'll see how these work. Charity, empty chair, someone is leaving your life. Claw, be careful, do not take risks. And sun, happiness and well-being. Okay, so first of all, what I see, well, so I think for pile number 1, people, the obvious ones are the author, creative expression, and animals. So author, you have a book inside of you that wishes to be expressed. Make the time to write it, and then your soul longs to express itself creatively. And then animals, you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. So for pile number 1, people, I feel like for your creative expression, it could be a lot of different things too, but in this particular drawing card, this person is actually drawing and looking at like a vast field of things and just drawing out outdoor. So I feel like it's something that relates to having like drawing, or if you're sculpting, maybe something creative, okay? And in particular, author writing. So you can be any kind, maybe like a children's book where you draw and you write, you know, that kind of thing, or something, children's book with animals. You know, you can, you create some kind of a book about animals, or you can be an animal activist where you support animal rights or animal whatever, and then you write your blog about it. So author, and it could be anything, from like writing articles, writing books, or even just writing blogs, that kind of thing. So like, or journalism, or animal lovers. So if anything related to animals, like PETA or ASPA, or that, all these charity works involving animals, or even like vets, that would be something involving animals, right? So that would be the first most obvious things. And also over here, if we don't try to combine them, if you're just looking at the writing, like being an author alone, it is a very solitary type of profession. So, you know, you would do it alone and look at how she's reading. So it can even be like editor, I feel like, where you correct other people's work, or, you know, making it better. And this person is sitting, like, is that a sand or some sort? And to me, for some reason, this also looked like a musical. Like, I can't really read what is being written here, but it just, like, an idea came to mind that you can even be like a musician where you write songs, you compose. So a composer, that would fall into an author as well. So anything artistic, or also that would be a very, like, the drastic different type where, you know, you would go into medical field, right? But so you would either do like on the side of like journalism, or even music composing, or drawing, and or like some kind of or, you know, social work, I would think, or like charity, non-profit organization. I would say like authors are really good with words. So instead of like communicating, like voicing it, like using your voice about this, this will be more like writing about like this kind of like animal. So you would maybe like some kind of a copywriter, okay, for if you're like working at the charity or some sort. And with this tarot card being reversed, Five of Wands is about conflict, okay, and looking at all these people fighting each other, but it's not, they don't look like really aggressive. It could be like a playful kind of conflict, but some kind of a conflict. So I think your job would probably involve teamwork, and also problem solving, okay? So even though this is reversed, we'll just read it up, right? Just because this is about, you know, soul and life purpose. But maybe, you know, the fact that it's reversed means like you're fighting your inner calling a little bit, because it just doesn't sound right, or you think it's, you know, maybe you can't do it or something like that. But yeah, just note that you are talented enough to do whatever you want, and especially in these area, okay? And so I would say like teamwork, author, see, this it's a little bit conflicting with each other. So solitude with author, I would think those kind of go hand in hand, or even solitude and creative expression, because I think usually anything artsy is a little bit more on the alone, working by yourself side. But, you know, even creative expression could be like filmmaking, and you could be like a script writer, okay? And you could write about animal and advocate about all that kind of things. And so even for, like, a writer for filmmaking, film kind of things, you're still writing alone. So in that sense, that it is very solitary. But then at the same time, you need to problem solve, because author is always about problem solving. Even creative, like, expression, it's problem solving. If you see something, you're trying to you know, figure out the colors and all that stuff. And if you're working as a filmmaker, for example, definitely lots of it's all about problem solving and working together with other people with different opinions, right? And I think authors, when you're writing, you have a lot of characters that you have to write about, and they all have their inner conflict and how to resolve with other people in the story as well. So this could be about that as well. And also, like, but for here, charity work, you know, it is about, like, you know, you're fighting for someone's right. So, you know, fighting, that kind of thing. And then, and even maybe like these kind of look like, they look kind of young to me. So maybe like children as well. So something along the line of animals and children, right? This one is, see how this is like a children hugging like a tiger. So endangered species, maybe you could work, your work can evolve around that as well. So so that is that. And let's see, flowers. So maybe something that has to do, I feel like flower expression, it kind of works a little bit like this, somewhere in the wild. So animals, you know, if it's endangered species, wild animals, rats. This one is about somebody working against you behind your back. So again, this is about conflict. So you're always trying to resolve problems with, or, you know, I think social work, you're sometimes, you are dealing with other people, right? And you're trying to resolve conflicts that way. And do not take risks. Well, if you're working as an author and creative person, or even animal advocate or whatever, I don't think it's a lot of risk-taking career or type of career. So you are taking risks, but it's not like life or death or that type of risk, okay? And sun, happiness. So I just think that it's probably what makes you happy, right? That's what you need to do. Someone leaving your life. I guess it's solitude. You might, when you're working on these things, you might have to, you know, leave people behind and just working on things alone. So I think that is it for group number 1. So something about writing, creative writing, script writing, music composing, editor, copywriter, somebody that deals with charity work, nonprofit organization, maybe with children or with animals, or like protecting endangered species, social work. So any type of these would probably be something that would make you happy, or you would be happy doing it, okay? And so let me know how this resonates with you, and you may leave in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so I think I shift the camera a little, not shift, but like touched it by accident. So anyways, so here's pile number 2. All right, let's do this. King of Pentacles, Universe, Freedom, Healer, Writing, December, Egg, Camel, Rabbit, and Basket. Okay. Well, first of all, things that caught my eye is that December and 21. So because 21 is the last number in the tarot deck, so it's like the end of a cycle. December is also the last month, right? And it's 12, so there's 21 and 12. It's a reverse. And King of Pentacles. Something about twos. Interesting. Okay, so well, the obvious ones are here: freedom, healer, and writing. So see, to me, this card is about universe. It's the in the regular tarot deck, it's the world card. And I feel like with the world card, it's pretty much you have the whole world to you. Like, you can decide anything in the world that you want to be. So you're pretty open, but obviously that's when you have too many choices, you can't decide, right? So, and I mean, this is also that it's like you're free to do whatever you choose, but again, too many choices, when that becomes confusing to some people sometimes, because just you don't know what is the best choice. When you have limited choice, then you're like, okay, I can only choose between these, then I can only choose between these. So I guess these really, like, you are really good at anything that you want to do. You will be very successful at it. Okay. But if you want really specific ones, I think you would be really good at healing people over here. And it's talking about healer, but in the picture it's doctor, it's a surgeon. If you look at it, it says you have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. But I feel like this is not only like healing as in like spiritually, as it says right here, but it's also like if you want to go into the medical field to heal somebody physically, like spiritually, not spiritually, but physically. So like a surgeon, because this is like look at what the outfit. It's a surgical mask, right? And the cap and all that stuff. So surgery would be something that you would be really good at, I think. And doctor, and maybe even like psychologist would be really good profession for you as well. So anything in the medical field, I feel like, but also like not just medical field, but the objective is to help somebody, right? And then pile number one also got author, but this is a little bit different. This is about writing. So you heal, inspire, teach, and entertain with the words you write. So healer, and then it says heal. So if you were to combine these two, you might be somebody who does a lot of research, and then you do a lot of reports, write, thesis or something like that about your discoveries, that type of things. And then you would be really good at teaching people and inspire people. So again, this, I would say, like, if you are like, because it's about entertaining, so you can be a film writer, script writer, video comedy writer, even, or even like comedians. Comedians, they write their own things. Like they don't just go up on stage and try to wing it, right? They actually have somebody that write it for them, or they are a writer themselves, that they write their own things. So you can also be that kind of thing. So like you teach other people through your writing, but I would say your writing would touch more people because this is the universe. So I would definitely think of like mass communication type of writing. Okay, so like, again, journalism, news broadcasters, right? They need like people to write those news articles and stuff like that. So definitely that type of writing. Okay, so where you inspire and also teach others. So I would say, see, everything's going into digital, so I don't know, maybe like you could still be like a writer, book writer, right? But I would definitely look into areas where you would touch, or you would get to a lot more people, like, because so something you write might even turn into like multiple different languages, right? And so that it would spread around the world, type of thing. So so that's why I would even think, like, you know, if you're a doctor or you're in the medical field, sometimes like the most important discoveries, they would actually translate it into all kinds of different languages to, you know, to teach other doctors or other people in those fields, right? So psychologist. King of Pentacles. This is an interesting one, okay? This is reversed. So again, it's telling me maybe you are fighting a little bit about, you know, your inner callings and that kind of things. But if we were to read it upright, King of Pentacles they are the king. So they're already very knowledgeable. And Pentacles is all about, you know, finance and they're the regular daily workers as well. Okay, so anything that has to do with, I would say, if you want to be your own boss, so anything that has investment, so dealing with money, you would be a really good entrepreneur. So I mean, if you're a writer, you could be an entrepreneur, like a freelance writer. Freedom, right? Freedom to write anything you want and to go anywhere you want. And so a freelance writer, something, or maybe even like a travel writer, right? Because you travel around and you write. So that would be another possibility where you actually travel. I would think you would probably love to travel as well, because with the Universe card 21, and the Freedom card, that you probably love to travel, and you are very inspired when you go travel, and the things that you write about and the things that you see in different countries. So you could write about different people's culture, things that you see in different countries, maybe even third world countries. You want to write about things that that you see are different or are inspiring. This just kind of reminds me of the movie, oh my god, I just lost the name of that movie, but it's about that lady who would go into different war zone and write about the things that she saw and like voice for them and to let people know what's happening in that country. So it could be very much like that as well, okay? And that's like healing, because she wants to make people aware of what is happening in these countries that, you know, people would not otherwise know about. So that could kind of go hand in hand about that, okay? And so King of Pentacles, you can also be, I would say, like, even if you want to go into business, would be a really good card as well. So something about business, and if that is the case in business, maybe you could go into marketing. You could write about things and then like, you know, tell people about it. So if you're going into business, I would say maybe look more into like marketing type of classes, or even copywriting, right? December egg. You also, I would say that you're very good at coming up with plans. You know, if you're a business, you always have to write proposals, right? To get funding or whatever. So that is that. And I think you work very hard at things. I don't know why the rabbit is here. It says too much concern with sexual matters. Maybe when you travel, you get a little, you know, too free, and you meet a lot of different people. And definitely, I think, like, if you go into this field, see, recognition, reward for merit. So I would definitely think, if, you know, universe, you write something that help. You write things that help the mass. I think you would get recognized for sure. Okay, so I think that is that. December is, see, if you take the whole month of December, that means to me, we're doing a soul and life purpose reading, that would cover Sagittarius and Capricorn, which kind of encompasses about this universe and freedom. Sagittarius are very free. They're very philosophical. They love to travel. They love to think about things that, philosophize about life and all that kind of things, which is very much like healing and writing. They love to do these kind of things. Sagittarius, they definitely these things. And then Capricorn, they're very good with finance. They're very hardworking. They think about money. They are very good with plans, which is very much pentacle type of energy. And also over here, the egg one, right? It says success assured with good plans and hard work. And Capricorn people are very hardworking people, very they do planning, they're very good at planning. They're very logical. So definitely, if you're, I don't know, maybe you might be a little bit more on the Sagittarius side, then you would do these kind of writing, healing, and traveling, philosophical type of like jobs related, this kind of thing. But if you're more swinging towards the Capricorn side of things, then it would be more Pentacles, business related, planning, making money, investments, opening up your own company, that type of thing. So that's it for pile number 2, and let me know how this resonates with you, and if you have any comments that you want to share with me, go ahead and do it in the comment section below. And otherwise, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. Now we'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so pile number 3. Well, let's move these ones. 6, 7. Okay, so 3. We have King of Wands. They're all reversed. 20, which is the truth. Heart's desire. Travel. You're on the right path. And these little tea leaf cards. It's owl. The wall. Finger. Spear. And dog. But it's a close-up dog. Okay. Well, the obvious ones here are the life purpose cards, which are these. So anything that deal with travel or deal with electronics, right? Electronics, or in the airport, I would think this is, he's in it. Yeah, there's a plane over here. He's like sitting in that, that waiting area in the airport. Well, it says heart's desire. The angels are supporting, guiding you, protecting you as your dreams become a reality. So I think anything that your heart desires. So maybe you need to meditate a little bit and see what you're really drawn to. But I feel like sometimes, obviously you're watching this video because you don't know what your heart wants, right? So sometimes I feel like it's a trial and error. Like you need to do it before you know if you like something or not. And so it's just telling you to maybe go ahead and do it. And it's so funny that this card is here. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. So I guess maybe pile number 3 people, you're just checking to see if you're on the right path, right? And if you are, so if you chose this pile, you are on the right path. Okay, so whatever you're doing, you are on the right path. But if you're not if you're the unsure, well, I don't know what I'm doing, pile number 3 people, then travel would be a good starting point, right? You would definitely, I think you would like to travel. So anything, maybe like flight attendant, pilot, right? There's the airplane, or maybe even working in the airport would be something, as a TSA, government, or even customs people. What else? Over here are like the computers. So I would say anything that has to do with computers as well. Or maybe communication via that you would actually, so communication that would actually get you, that you could communicate with the world using your computer. Okay, so any jobs that's related to that as well. So I would say like anything that has to do with computer, like computer animation, computer graphics, computer engineering, okay, or even programming. That would be something also you can look into, besides travel or working in the airport, that kind of thing. So, or you're like a travel writer or travel blogger or travel photographer. That would also be that. Okay, and because of the truth card over here, I would definitely think that you want to spread about truth. And so like traveling around the world looking for truth or spreading your knowledge about your findings at different places, using your computer, right? A blogger or something like that. And it's so funny, like 1, 2, 3 all kind of related in some ways. King of Wands. You're a very passionate type of person. Wands people are very action oriented, and also I would say like so King of Wands would also be, it represents like farmer, so maybe something agricultural, or like investment in properties. Agricultural, like I would think this is like kind of cool, like farming, because this is wands with like little things that will grow out of it, right? So that is that. So maybe something, if you're like a farmer of some sort, maybe you want to sell your things to the world, right? As well. What else do I see in this card? You might be on the stubborn side, but once you decide what you want, you actually will follow through with it. So let's see, good advice from a wise person. So I think you would also be really good at communicating with people, and you're a very good advisor. So advisor would be something that would be a good job. This is talking about wall and misunderstanding. So, and I would take it as like over here, good advice. So, I think people probably come to you for advices. So, I would look maybe again like social working or maybe even psychology would be a pretty good, if you're in school, like a major to take, or if you're not in school, psychology is always good. You could, social behavior or behavioral science, right? And that's like to understand why people do things the way they do. Over here it says warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. So again, this is like people come to you for advices and you give them good advices to help them avoid conflicts, avoid problems, that kind of thing. And here, heartache over what you no longer have. I would again think, I actually think, okay, dog close up, pleasure with a close friend. So basically I would think that with these cards, they definitely tells me one thing is that you're a very good person. You give really good insights. Maybe that's what Heart's Desire is about too. Like you see into things truth. You see into things and you give people good advice. So I would definitely think psychology, psychoanalysis, or anything that with like human behaviors would be a really good field to go into as well. If not travel or blogging or computer related type of jobs, right? So your soul purpose would be, or life purpose or job, or just general, I think this is that. So, you know, either a psychologist, psychoanalyst, a travel agent, someone who works in the airport. So that could be customs, TSAs, or, you know, just like working for the airlines. Or you're the traveler and you travel around the world. So you could be like a travel blogger or travel photographer, travel writer, travel artists of any sort, right? Or that you can be, if you're into like planting things, okay? So like farming, agricultural, that type of things would also be really good option for you as well. Okay, so that is it for pile number 3. And let me know if you have any, I don't know, things that you want to share with me. You could just do it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Okay, so that's it for pile 3. Let's put it aside. Pile 4. Queen of Pentacles in reverse again. Oh, look at this. This is all reversed. Well, I don't know about pile number 4. Your energy is all reversed. My goodness. Heartache and loss. Okay. Oh, we don't read these in reverse, but just know that they came out reverse. Your life purpose involves your skills of oration, children. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. Career change, you're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. Okay. Arrow, you're on the right path regarding aspects of your life. Bird flying, news is on the way. Victory in some endeavor. Take care, this is bad. Enemies are working against you. Man dealing a relationship with a man. Okay. Well, I'll flip this around, but just know that it came out reverse. This deck, it says like usually they don't read reverse, but it just know that it's gonna take a little bit of extra effort, and it's about heartache and loss. Okay, so in a traditional deck, I think this would be the 3 of Swords. Okay, interesting. Okay. Well, the obvious ones are these 2, right? So you're really good with communicating. So like the previous piles, they're very good. Their communication is through writing. But for pile number 4 people, you're really good at speaking, communicating through speaking. Okay, so anything that evolves with speaking. So maybe giving out speeches or like newscasters. So like the other people are more like writing it for the news people. You know, you would be like the journalist where you would stand in front of the camera and you talk, right? Or you know, you're like could be an inspirational speaker, like the TED or somebody on YouTube, right? So that type of people. Also, let's see, children. So if not a speaker, then something that involves children, or you could combine them together. So you're like an advocate for children. So your speech is all about how to help children and heal them. And if you're a teacher, that's like you're teaching children and through speaking, right? So definitely teacher is an option as well. So professors, tutors, if you're going down a level. And if for pile number 4 people, so I guess some of the people for pile number 4, you might be looking to do a career change. So something that you're doing right now, you just don't feel like you don't want to do anymore. And if that is the case, maybe something related with children or like public speaking is the direction that you want to go into, right? When you're doing a career change. So see, if you're like the writing people, I feel like you would be more into like marketing and type of thing. So but if you're really good at communicating using your words, like orally, right, I would say like sales would be a really good option as well for you. Okay, and let's see over here, this is just caught my eye. It says on the right path as well. And so if you're doing a career change, maybe it's telling you like, you know, you're making the right decision to do a change, because then you would go into something that would inspire you more, make you happier, right? And if you're not the type of the people that are looking to do a career change, you're actually is going into trying to decide what career you want to go into, then speaking or children or whatever that you're going through right now, you're on the right path. So if it's not this, I don't know. So let's see, speaking, so salesperson, Queen of Pentacles, I would say, okay, so again, Pentacles is about finance, so anything that's dealing with money, dealing with like land or labor, that's Pentacles energy, okay? And then over here it's about land and looking at these like vast lands, and all these flowers and stuff like that. I would say like, you know, anything doing with, you know, land would be something that you can look into if you're not a speaker or children. Real estate agents would be really good, right? Land, and you combining with salesperson, you sell land. Real estate agents, right? Where you make money. And you also like children, family, you're providing like a support, a foundation for families and children. So like selling houses, right? And what else? Let's see. It came in reverse, right? So yeah, just you might have a little bit of blockage energy again with this, obviously, because you're confused, you don't know what to do, right? So that's why you're here. So real estate agent is a really good option. Or this is a female, right, with money, so anything with accounting, I would think, not that I'm, you know, being sexist or anything, but if you're a man, accounting would also be just because it says it's queen, that's why. But general, this is a general reading, so it could be men or women, male or female. Accounting would be something that you can go into, or like auditors, financial, I would say banking would be something also good for these pile. I'm even thinking like stock exchanges, because just like it just came to me, because I remember watching like, you know, videos and stuff like that with all these like stock exchange people. They're in the office, like they're screaming with their words, and it's like buy and or sell or whatever, right? So that would be that, you know, communicating through your oral. And then news on the way, stock exchange, something is happening really fast, right? Fast paced, and victory in some endeavor, and dealing with men. See, for some reason, for this one, this card kind of goes, for me, go kind of with this one, go along with this one, heartache and loss. So perhaps you will also be very good at, I would, again, what do you call it? A therapist. I know the life purpose card actually has a card particularly for therapy, but we didn't draw it. But then we have these cards that kind of like points into that direction as well, where a therapist is using your knowledge to communicate with other people and heal other people, right? And so a speaker, I would really think that you know, you could be a therapist dealing with children, helping them as well. And a therapist is really good at helping and other people overcome heartache and losses, relationship problems, people who have problems with other people, you know. So I would also think that would be also another career that you can think of, or life purpose that a possibility for a life purpose. So like a real estate agent, anything that deals with land or accounting, financial type of thing, stock exchange, public speaker, inspirational speaker, a teacher, professor, okay, and also or a therapist that deals with children, so like family therapy, or children, like specifically dealing with children, you know, because I think that's a complete different field, where children, they think a little bit different, you know. You have to understand their behaviors, how they're thinking, right? So a little bit of background on those. And then also like relationship, so a therapist dealing with relationships, building confidence, right? Dealing with men and problems. So for pile number 4, I think that is what I see for you. And if none of these works, but you chose pile number 4, and you are, you know, just confirming if you're on the right path or not, you are on the right path. And if you are looking for a career change, any of the things that I just listed above would be a possibility for you. And so let me know if this resonate with you or not. Just leave in the comments section below, or don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Alrighty, so that's it for pile number 4. Pile 5, you got Judgment, Temptation in reverse, energy healing, counseling, leadership, Stork, older man, younger woman, crib, Scales. Okay. Judgment. I think you're a very wise type of person. I don't know. Yeah, all the other piles I actually started with, but for some reason this just catches my eyes. Judgment. So because of the angel and like the horn and all that stuff, and also because of the temptation, right? I think sometimes, but it's in reverse. So I think you're really good at fighting off temptations. You would make a really good missionary, or spreading truth, or spreading what you believe to people. You're very good at it. You might also be very philosophical, and you don't cave into temptation. So I just have that kind of feeling, which kind of go hand in hand with the rest of the cards, which is very interesting. Energy, healing, and counseling, and leadership. So if you're very good at, you know, spreading things to people, I want to say like priests or pastors, missionaries, leadership, right? Because you take charge of the situation, where you tell people, whoa, did I just move the thing? Tell people what to do, or give them advice, right? And also, and you give good advice, and energy healing. So people who talk to you, they feel healed energetically, energetically, and counseling. Okay, so so if we don't look at these cards, just at the life purpose cards alone, so besides missionaries, priests, pastors, something like work in the religious field, you are also really good at spreading, I would say like the same thing as pile number 4, or pile number 3, I can't remember. One of them is really good at speaking, so I think it's pile number 4. You know, spreading things orally, right? So I think this has that same type of energy, okay? Same type of feel that I feel from pile number 5. But you might be a little bit more on the religious side. But if not on the religious side, you're also really good at just spreading, communicating with your words, right? And in particular, over here, it already says it's counseling or energy healing. I kind of think these kind of go hand in hand in itself in some ways. Although energy healing is more like, I would say, spiritual. So it could be like a tarot reader or psychic, right? Maybe you are a little bit psychic, pile number 5. And so you Reiki, or which Reiki, that's how English people pronounce it, right? But I think if you pronounce it Japanese, it's Reiki, right? So that's energy healing, Reiki. Judgment, what else? Let's see. Counseling. If you're counseling so it says heal with words, wise advice, and empathetic ear. So like again, has that therapist, counselor energy type of things, which and I think leadership is all about that as well. But counseling over here is about older men. So maybe you work really well with older people. I don't think it's just men in particular, but older people and also younger people. So you kind of, and also here crib, it's about babies. So you kind of encompass the whole entire public. So older, whether you just draw people to you. And I feel like you draw no like, you don't have an age gap, okay? So like whether it be really young people, whether it be really old people, whether it's people your same age or around your age, people just come to you for advices. They're just drawn to you, maybe because of your energy, okay? And also this like wise energy that you give people, okay? And so and you're very balanced, and you try to be very fair with everything. And so and you have that leadership skill. You know how to talk to people. You look really confident. Maybe even if you don't feel confident, but you look confident, and people are drawn to that kind of energy. And then when you give advice, you're like not easily given to temptation. So like, it's just in general, I feel like you have that spiritual energy and very warm energy that just draw people into you. And so if you're looking for a life or job, soul purpose, you're definitely in the realm of like therapy, psychologists, right? Therapist, or even just like the spiritual type of like, like what I'm doing, tarot reading, or psychic type of things, or even just, as I was saying earlier, the religious entities where you are into missionaries or pastors, or just spreading out like what you believe, okay? So anything, and I feel like what you believe doesn't have to be religious. It could be anything. So things that you believe strongly about, you're very good at spreading that and telling people about it and making people believe that what you say is the truth, okay? So I feel pile number 5 people are pretty straightforward. So besides counseling and energy healing, leadership can also be just like, I don't know. I don't get the feeling of pile number 5 people you would make like a really great boss or anything. Like, I mean, opening up your own company, because you're just too nice. And if you're too nice and you wanna make everybody feel good and like heal everyone, I don't know if that's a good thing. I think your company's probably, unless you do charity work or nonprofit organization work, I don't know if you'll make a lot of money. But if you work for a company, you would definitely be really good at a leadership position, so like a managing position. But again, if you are doing working for somebody, maybe you want to look into like companies where they are maybe like pharmaceuticals. Charity would be also another really good one. Nonprofit, as I was saying. So something like that. Or if not, then definitely some kind of a medical field where you can do counseling or therapy, therapist type of things, or energy healing. So massagist would also be another one. Masseuse, right? Chiropractic, I think that's another one. What do you call those? Physical therapy, that's another really good one as well. Physical therapy, whether it's old or young or I don't know, whatever, all age range, people need it, right? And it's about balance. So let me just sum up for pile number 5 people. So anything that's dealing with like religious entities, so like priest, pastors, missionary, energy healing, Reiki people, tarot readers, spiritual like people, counselors, therapists, psychologist, and what else? A physical therapist. What else? And then if you work for companies, you might want to look into like anything in the medical fields, like pharmaceuticals, pharmacies, or any. I think you would thrive in like any managing positions as well, if you work long enough, hard enough, because you're definitely, you resist temptation, and you live in a very balanced life. But I think you would definitely be happier if you're in any of the other ones that I just mentioned above. Okay, and so that's it for pile number 5 people, and let me know if these resonated with you or not, and if not, well, maybe the next reading then. Or choose a different pile, right? So don't forget to like, share, or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so pile number 6 people. Justice. What does it say? Stand your ground, but it's reversed, so it's gonna take a little bit of work. School, music, and books. Dolphin, the moon, vine, dog, and horse. Okay. Well, let's start off with these ones. That's the easiest. Music, anything in the music profession, anything with school, so anything with books. So if it's books, it could be librarian, you could be an author, writer, right? Yeah, books. And then music, so you could be like a composer or musician, performer, okay, and you heal people with your music. So you could, what else is like, I see music, I could encompass sound. So like, in the film industry, there's also like sound, what do you call those? Sound mixers, sound editors, anybody that deals with sound, right? Recording artists, DJs, school. So I would say like teachers would be really good for you as well. You could be a music teacher, right? Maybe English teacher, professors, okay. So that's these 3. But these 2 cards actually speaks to me in a very interesting way. It says stand your ground. And when I first saw this and I look at this card and I was like, of course, right? Justice. It's all about balance, about justice, right? Fairness. So you really care about if things are fair or not. So I would think you would be really good advocate of some sort, or your life purpose or soul purpose, or if you're in school still, it would be really good to go into some kind of law, right? And then you would help them, the weak and the less fortunate, maybe voice things that other people cannot, that people without power can do themselves. You would help them with that. Or also, just charity work, nonprofit work. But I would definitely justice, just right off the bat, anything that deals with law. Okay, so and if you go into law, there's a lot of different categories for law as well. And I always thought, lawyers are just lawyers, they know everything. No, actually, once you go into law, you would know that it's very, very specific. If you're like dealing specifically with family, right, divorces, or you would they're copyright lawyers. They are, what do you call those that they do, not copyright, but yeah, very, very specific. Some people like entertainment lawyers, and in the bigger corporations, they have their own like law department as well, right? So and if you're not like these common like lawyers, you could be judges, that's that, right? Prosecutors, anything that's dealing, and not just law, but like I would say police people are also like part of this justice systems, right? And in the school, or security, I would think you would also make really good like maybe martial artists. You might not have to go to school for that, but you definitely need to go to like a martial arts school. What else? Like stand your ground, kind of go with that, like what you believe in about justice, right? With music, I would say like, copyright, or what are those like when you create something and it's like you need to register it. It'll come to me. Anyways, but entertainment lawyers might be also something that you can look into that as well. Or like over here, books. I would think lawyers that have to read a lot of books. They have to memorize all these laws and books, right? So that would be that. And over here, just protection from a powerful friend. And I feel like you're a protector using law to help people, right? Financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. So if you're into law, you're definitely making a ton of money, but you have to spend a ton of money to make a ton of money. Seek out information that will help you. Again, I think that kind of go with that law type of things. You have to study all that, right? Information will help you. So to summarize for pile number 6 people, I think if you can be professors or teachers at a school, or anything that's in the school, like maybe you can open up your own school, like a music school, right? Or I don't know, or you could work for a librarian. I almost feel like school and books, maybe like a bookstore owner, even though nowadays we don't really have bookstores anymore, but online bookstore, right? What else? Like school, anybody that's working in the school, like counselors in the school, any of the type of teacher, in particular music teachers, right? I think I already said that. The librarian in the school, principals, over here has like these math equations on the board. So like a math teacher. Let's see. This is like about fighting. So maybe like in martial arts teacher, right? Or you can open up your martial arts school if you're that into that type of things. Gym teacher, that's at a school as well. Music, so you could be a musician, any type of music. So over here is the violin, but it could be piano, anything with music. So also like composers, editors, sound mixers, working in the film industry, if that is that. Anything with sounds, right? Sound. There's a sound designer, and then composers, editor. There's music editors, I think, as well. Music teachers, any type of the music teachers, like you could do things privately, right? And then books, you could be a librarian, as I was saying, a bookstore owner. But also, if you're becoming a lawyer person or you're studying law, you have to read a lot of books. You have to have a lot of knowledge, right? And you're a protector of people. Not just like law, but like maybe also anything in the police force. Yeah. Okay. Or detective. You're very observant as well, so private detective, the private eye, if you don't want to be in the police department, right? Or securities, okay, yeah. So let me know if this resonates with you, and you can leave in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, last but not least, pile number 7. Okay. 10 of Cups. What is this? Material harvest, but it's in reverse. Spiritual teacher, family, time to decide. And then over here is November, wishbone, chair filled, mule, and success. Right off the bat, the thing is spiritual teacher, family, and time to decide. Okay, so of course you're watching this video because you're trying to decide, and so this is kind of like a useless card. So here, family. Loving your friends and family is your central purpose life. So something that deals with family. And spiritual teacher, you heal people with your classes, sessions, and seminars. Okay. So I would definitely think, therapist comes up a lot this time. But something, you could be a therapist that's like a family therapist, or if you're a lawyer, you deal with family law, right? You could be also like social worker, where you're helping like family, or even the government situation, something that involves family. Okay. And spiritual teacher, so it could be anything that's like what I'm doing, the tarot card reading or psychic or whatever, but also anything that deals with religion, or using religion to help people. So like you could be working in a church or some sort, okay? Which you also help family and that kind of things. And 10 of Cups is always about family as well, looking at like these children playing, and then these two people like really happy looking at the 10 of Cups. Like your life is fulfilled. You got everything that you wanted in life, okay? So it kind of speaks this family card. And And over here it's about material harvest. This is also, for this deck, 9 is the last card in the deck as well, just like this one. And so material harvest means you have everything that you need. I think this is maybe the Pentacle card. So, you know, which also speaks family as well. So this pile number 7, you have a very, very strong family energy for this one. And over here is like wishbone is a wish granted, somebody walking into your life, which kind of speaks that family as well, whether it be like a man or a woman entering your life, depending on if you're a man or woman, and also like if you're married, kids coming into your life, somebody. So I take this card as very for this reading, a strong family energy as well. Success. This card is an astral house, so it's about business, but you know, taking care of a family is almost like a business, right? And it's a business that you can never retire from. So you would have a lot of success dealing with this. So and November is a master number 11. It's about harmony, right? And spiritual, again, 11 is very much spiritual, coming together, right? 11. And if we go from the November 1st all the way to the 30th, that encompasses 2 astrology signs, which is the Scorpio and the Libra. And Libra is all about balance in life as well. Balances, justice, and Scorpio, they are, if you know anything about astrology, Scorpio is, out of all of the water signs, I mean, Cancer is very family oriented too, but like Scorpio, they are all about promises, that kind of things, and they're are very passionate as well. So once they're committed into something, they're just in for it, and they're very family oriented too. I would say, you know, all the water signs are very, because they're guided by their emotions. They're water signs, right? So family is very important, I would say, to all the water sign people. And so Scorpio family again, right? So for pile number 7, people, I think this is going to be super short for pile number 7, because I think it all speaks just one message. So I'm just going to sum it up. So anything that deals with family, so it could be anything, you know, family counseling, family therapy, family social work type, anything that, you know, you have to work with family. And or if you're a spiritual person, anything with the religious entity or church, or like temple, anything religious. So to you know, you're helping people through religion, right? Let it be like Buddhism, Muslim, whatever, or you're like a tarot reader, psychic reader, that kind of thing. And then it says like you teach people with your classes, sessions, and seminars. So you teach people about spirituality. And then my strongest feel for number 7 is that family is everything that you do things. So all of your decisions actually is based off of your family. Okay. And so, and I almost feel like for pile number 7 people, the reason that you're choosing pile number 7 is probably you're a very, very family oriented person, meaning, you don't really care about what you do as long as it makes the family happy, right? And it creates the stability for the family. And if you're a woman, maybe your life goal is to be a wife, right? And for men, maybe your life goal is to be a husband, to have kids. So that really is the feel I get for pile number 7. Okay. And you know, the wishbone, so like you wish to have a family, so that's like everything that you do is based off of like family. And that's your life and soul purpose, really. But if you're looking for like a specific job or field or career to go into, and I would say anything that deals with family, social, which I said already, and this maybe even spirituality, I really don't have a strong sense that pile number 7 people, you really wanted to have like a career per se. And I almost feel like a lot of the women might actually pick this one. Not that men wouldn't, but if you are a man and you pick pile number 7, maybe your goal, you might be the kind that marry off to like a very strong woman. Or if you're a same-sex relationship, your other partner is a lot more strong or career-oriented than you are. So you might be like the type of that is like a stay-at-home dad, okay? Stay-at-home mom type of thing. So I really don't feel like pile number 7 people, you have that strong of a desire to have a career, okay? You have a job, it's just so that you can pay bills, right? But career-wise, I don't think you have that strong of a will to have a career. Your career is your family, okay? So that is how I feel for pile number 7. Let me know if this resonate with you or not. If it's not, maybe you can pick a different pile. And let me know if anything that you want to share with me in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.